Greetings, you organ grinders. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and this is the Crack-a-Pack on LRRMTG. Please consider subscribing to the channel, maybe even join it as a member. Why not? Today, I hope you're in for some Torment. It's Torment! Yes, this pack of Torment was given to us by Gnome, or VGnome in chat, in mail time Q4 2020. Which means we could have opened this as recently as yesterday. We're not that far behind on our mail, but let's get into a pack of Torment. Back when it was skill testing even to unwrap the packaging. Ooh, these look nice. First up, Skywing Avon. 2 and a blue for a 2/1 flying bird soldier, and you can discard a card from your hand to return Skywing Avon to its owner's hand. I like as they went on with the game, they learned more and more words that they didn't need to say. Discard a card from your hand, as opposed to from the library? No, that's a different thing. All right, cool. A 2/1 flyer for 3, and you can pitch a card to bounce it. Fine. I assume then, because it's been a while since I've looked at Torment, that this set is going to care about discarding cards. Is there Madness cards in Torment? That would make sense. Next is Waste Away. 4 and a black. As an additional cost, discard a card from your hand. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn at instant speed. So it's not, that's not an alternate cost. It's 5 mana and discard a card. So you'd better be getting some value off of that, or else this is just very not good anymore. Granted, these were printed in 2002, so, you know, there is 22 years of card design between here and now. Hey, look, it's Longhorn Firebeast. Feeling a bit long on the horns myself. 2 and a red for a 3/2 beast. When it comes into play. Hold on. Oh boy. This is the period of time for Magic cards that I am the worst at, because this is not when I was actively playing, but it's not back when they needed a paragraph of text to explain what Vigilance did. It's this intervening period where they were having a silly goofy time playing around with different wordings like from your hand or when Longhorn Firebeast comes into play. Currently, at time of recording, that is enters the battlefield. By the time you're watching this, it might have already been changed to enters, because they've announced that. But I don't know what the release schedule is. Anyway, when it enters, any opponent may have it deal 5 damage to them. If a player does, sacrifice Longhorn Firebeast. It's one of these spells. So it's either I get a 3/2 or you take 5. Sure. It's fine, I guess. Floating Shield. What is happening in this art? This pixelated art. What on earth? Keith, what are you doing? Anyway, the card is 2 and a white for a creature enchantment. As it enters, choose a color. The enchanted creature has protection from the chosen color. This effect does not remove Floating Shield, in case you name white. And you can sacrifice Floating Shield to have target creature gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn. I think they've printed very similar effects better other times. Oh boy, classic Pete Venters. Speaking of the art here, it's Cabal Torturer. 1 black for a 1/1 minion. And for black and tap, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. And if you have Threshold, 3 black and tap, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. What's Threshold, you ask? Well, you play this ability only if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, which can happen if you discard cards from your hand. Oh boy, get the nostalgia, not necessarily the sleeve, but it's deep analysis. Yes, cube include everywhere, deep analysis. At least it was for a long time in the Magic Online cube, but that was probably also like 5 years ago. 3 and a blue for a sorcery, target player draws 2 cards, and you can flashback for 1 and a blue and pay 3 life. Everyone make your own jokes on your own time. Krozen Restorer. Someone who restores. 2 and a green for a 1/2 druid, and tap to untap target land. If you have Threshold, tap to untap up to 3 target lands. Is this card quietly busted or loudly busted? Maybe it's not being very quiet. Maybe I'm just hard of hearing because I'm such a longhorn fire beast. That seems like a card that I'm going to be like, yeah, this looks all right. And then it'll be like, that thing's $5. Unhinge. Welcome to Crack-A-Pack, where today it's unhinged. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target player discards a card from their hand, draw a card. Unlike most of these, I think there's a reason I've never heard of that one. I do like one-word card names if possible. Like everyone's favorite Photoshop filter, it's Liquefy. 2 and blue for an instant. Counter target spell with converted mana cost 3 or less. If it is countered this way, remove it from the game instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. You know, apart from changing remove from the game to exile, I don't think that's been truncated recently. If it's countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. I think is still the full deal. Boy, this is definitely some early 2000s Ron Spencer art. This woman is wearing a trilobite as a bikini, and she's got about 17 abs. So, goals, really. Flash of Defiance. 1 and a red for a sorcery. Players can't block with green and or white creatures this turn. And you can flash back for 1 and a red and pay 3 life. Is Deep Analysis part of a cycle? And I'm just now learning that because Deep Analysis is the only one that's good. No, this can't be. It has the same flashback cost of the attacking pay 3 life on there, but this is like a color hate card, and Deep Analysis has no relation to this apart from that. And this card also, relevantly, is bad. Whereas Deep Analysis at least draws cards. Tarot's Faithful. 3 and a white for a 1/4 cleric. When it enters the battlefield or comes into play or whatever you want to call it, you gain 4 life. Where have I seen this card recently? Why have I seen this card recently? I swear this looks so familiar.
It was reprinted in Vintage Masters.
Why?
Shrug emoji.
Okay. What are they wearing? That's some impractical neckwear. They also look like they're wearing trilobites as clothes. I mean, they look like they're wearing clothes evocative of, you know, like our ancestors, the sea babes, used to wear trilobites as clothes. And so we wear these to evoke the image of that. And also we have uncomfortable necklines, but we're so faithful. Oh, here we go. Finally, a madness card. It all makes sense. Strength of Lunacy. 1 and a black for a creature enchantment. The enchanted creature gets +2/+1 and protection from white, and the madness cost is only a single black. Madness, as a reminder, is you may play this card for its madness cost at the time you discard it from your hand. So you can use one of the many discard effects we've already seen to then pay 1. You could do that at instant speed. Say you're casting Waste Away. So you got 6 mana up, pay 5 for Waste Away, discard your Strength of Lunacy, put it on a creature. That creature is bigger and has pro white, and you've given something -5/-5. What a blowout, I assume. But what if the situation was different in a board state I have just invented so I can claim this card is good? Flaming Gambit. This is another one I've seen, I think, fairly recently. Oh, it's in my terrible Jaya Ballard commander deck. That's why. X and a red. For an instant, it deals X damage to target player. That player may choose a creature they control and have Flaming Gambit deal that damage to the creature instead, which is rude. And it has flashback for X red. So it's a weird fireball and then a slightly more expensive weird fireball. Sure. Violent Eruption. 1 red for an instant. It deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players, and it has madness for 1 red. I mean, sure. Takes a little bit of the edge off that 3rd red pip if you can discard it and then deal 4 damage to any number of things. And our rare. Boy, I'm not holding my breath for this one. Whoop-how! It's Transcendence. Oh, hell. 3 white. Enchantment. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. When you have 20 or more life, you lose the game. Whenever you lose life, you gain 2 life for each 1 life you've lost. So I'm confident that someone would try to break this in Commander if you didn't already start at 40. And as soon as you go over, because it's not your starting life total, it's 20. So for the same reason that monk that becomes a 5/5 flyer in lifelink or whatever is messed up in Commander, this is just very bad. Was this set draftable? I mean, they may have intended it to be, but I mean, was it draftable? What would I take here? Should I just take Deep Analysis because it's a card that I know what it's going to do and it can draw me into my other terrible cards? Or should I take Flaming Gambit because at least it's probably going to kill 2 creatures? Probably I'm supposed to take Flaming Gambit for draft. The pack as a total is worth $4.43, and most of that is Transcendence. So I mean, good for you, Transcendence. Deep Analysis is a little under 50 cents, and turns out the Restorer is not as broken as I thought. Or maybe it is, but no one wants it because it's not actually worth any money. So hey, cool. Thanks for waiting, Venome. We'll get to them all eventually. And thanks for giving us this pack of Torment. I don't feel particularly tormented. I was a little flustered there for a while with card wording. But, you know, maybe I just need to get better at discarding cards from my hand. That is typically where I hold them. So, I don't know. Hey, until next time, I have been Graham, joined by James on Tech. Matt edits these with Jordan, and Heather gets them online. But more importantly, you watch. And we really appreciate that. If you want to support us directly, financially, you can do that at our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. You can become a member on this YouTube channel. You could even send us packs to the address on your screen if you so desire. If you haven't watched any of our episodes of Mail Time on the main Loading Ready Run channel, sometimes we open more than just Magic. We frequently open more than just Magic cards, and it's a fun time. Check it out. Until next time, though, on this show, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.